What's up, gang? Judson here, and I got my good pal Drew Henderson. Dr. Drew, what's up, brother?
That's right, Motherload. Not much. Just finished up an awesome day. Tuesdays I'm by myself in the office, so it's just hectic, but I love it.
Ah,
I wouldn't change it.
that's fun. I got tomorrow by myself, man. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. I love having the kids here working with them, but it's like old school, the old ways.
Yeah, just kicking it like you said, old school. It's
Yeah,
uh it's great. Just be tired at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
yeah. So for the listeners to understand, where you and I are coming from, we talk all the time, you and I. And like so many times I get, at the end of our conversation, I'm like, bro, we should have recorded that. Like we should have recorded that. Like the
Yeah.
stuff, we talk about and when we jam on life and chiropractic, which is what we want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Today's December 17th, 2020.
17th.
And I said we should have our own little show, man,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
talk.
I know, man. Just like we do.
Yeah.
It's we I mean, just like you were saying, we'll have these conversations. It's just like, damn, that was good. Like,
Yeah.
and we never recorded it. We don't think, and there's years and years of these things.
Years, bro. And it's like I tell people, I run in a pretty small circle,
Mm-hmm.
but the conversations we have are just awesome with
Yep.
people. And I was talking to a young man this morning, and I said, who do you talk to? Who do you bounce stuff off to? And he
Mm.
doesn't have anybody. I'm like, we got to get you to DE. Like, you got to start meeting like-minded people.
Yep.
And for people listening that don't know what that is, DE stands for Dynamic Essentials, which is one of the biggest chiropractic conferences and one of probably the longest standing one at this point, right? Outside of
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
Parker. Parker came first.
Yeah. And I mean, and Parker, they do a lot of other stuff that's not chiropractic.
Right.
It's more of a wellness seminar. Not bad. I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
But DE is hardcore, solid, old school chiropractic.
And I'll let people know right now if you need a freaking trigger warning. I watch shit now and they're talking about, I got a trigger warning. Be ready. If you don't want to hear the words principled chiropractic, just shut this off now.
Yeah.
And when we talk about chiropractic, and we'll be talking about things that aren't chiropractic because they're not chiropractic, and we're talking about the future of the profession. This is stuff we're going to be talking about. It's not to pull punches. And I think,
Mm-mm.
I mentioned to a couple of people we're doing this, and they said, "Well, can I ask questions? Can I jump on? Can I?" We're going to see what Innate does. Innate will provide.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And I wish we didn't have to use the word principle,
Doesn't that suck?
but it's because people are so dang confused about what chiropractic is and what it's not
Right.
that we have to delineate like real chiropractic and chiropractic everything else.
So what are we referring to when we say principal chiropractic? I had a grown man look across me at a table once in a boardroom and say, "I don't understand what that means, principal chiropractic." He literally said that to me.
I mean, and we got 33 principles that we follow. We got the dynamic essential that we follow. We have lasting purpose, the way that we live, which is giving, loving, serving, doing out
Right.
of your own abundance with no expectation in return.
Yeah.
And principle chiropractic is detection, correction of the vertebral subluxation.
Period.
Nothing else. Period with a T.
Right. Right.
It's and there's nothing else. There
But
is
why does
it's
there have
nothing else.
but why does there have to be anything else if there's other professions that do stuff? That's the part that confounds me. Why?
Yeah, it's just duplication of services.
Right.
That's all it is. Like I've got a great mechanic, Roger Stover. He won't see this, but he's awesome. Um, I don't get him to work on my plumbing at home.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He's a mechanic, nothing else.
Right.
I'm a chiropractor, nothing else.
I had a chiropractor reach out to me a couple weeks ago. He read my book Atlas Adjusted, and And he just wanted to let me know, he was a little bit offended by it because I kind of throw what we call mixers under the bus in the book.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm like, well, then what's the point of calling me? I mean, you never had to. I said something got exposed because he's what we call a mixer. And we've gotten
Mhm.
using that term because we're supposed to be politically correct, but I think it's time to be a little politically incorrect.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the reason we're in the mess we're in is because we haven't stood up when we need to stand up and say, like, this crap is not chiropractic.
What's
You know,
that mess
we
we're in? What's the mess we're in?
the what?
You said the mess we are in. What's the
Oh,
mess you're referring
yeah.
to?
Shoot, man. Just I mean, just we can't get. I know, like, there's all these different organizations. We're in the WFC. We're we're having all these other groups that wanting to expand our scope, wanting
Right.
to give us prescriptive rights.
There's a lot of great principal chiropractors out there that, are living in their own world, rightfully so, and just having an amazing practice, serving people,
Mhm.
delivering great chiropractic care. And I really feel like we're in a time in our history, we got to start pulling these people together on a higher level. Especially there's some big leaders out there that are doing their own thing that we
Yep.
got to bring them into this movement to fight for this principle of chiropractic so it doesn't get, you know,
Hmm.
pulled apart and gobbled up by another profession, really.
Yeah. Yeah. And solid, hardcore chiropractors.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the only friends I want. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want anybody else. You know what I mean?
It's funny you say that because I've spoken at other conferences and I meet some amazing men and women and we go break bread, we're hanging out, and then they start asking me questions about our style of chiropractic.
Hmm.
And some of them were just never exposed to it. They maybe went to a school that just
Yeah.
didn't, promote it. They were just promoting
Hmm.
other things, or they struggled in practice and did other things to make a buck. Now it's hard to get out of it, but they want to. They want to streamline and become clean, so to speak. One of the guys used that word. He goes, I would just love to be clean and be able to do just chiropractic. And I'm like, well, then
Yeah.
why don't you?
Yeah, and they can. That's the thing. Like, I uh I grew up in a small town. It's I barely graduated high school. Like, seriously, I failed Spanish 7 times. I had 2 credits of it. I took it 9 times. I failed it seven. Still can't speak Spanish.
No bueno.
But yeah, yeah. Ojo este coca, no es drogas. Only thing I know. Why they call me Coca D.
That's
But
right.
you know, the um if I can do it, I swear anybody can do it. Shoot, dude, you were dyslexic,
Yeah, I
you know?
think I
And
still am.
look, yeah, and we're okay, but we're just sticking to what we know.
You know,
We're
uh,
sticking to what we know.
my intern Alex just left for the last night here. He's finishing up his peak program, heading back
Hmm.
down to life, and he's graduating, and he's going to come back up and work with us. Awesome, awesome kid. And I just said to him, man, you should be super proud of yourself. Like,
Hmm.
do you realize what you just accomplished by coming through that program? It's not an easy program.
No,
Like
no.
I joke with people and I say, if I could do it, you could do it. Because I struggled. I only slept about 2 to 3 hours a night because I had to study all the time and just really learn as much as I could to just sit down for the test and get it. It's a
Yep.
hard, hard program. And I just said to him walking out the door, like, you got to be super proud of yourself. You're going to
Yep.
wake up Friday afternoon, you're a doctor. Like,
That's right.
it's real now, man. It gets real.
It is. It is. And and that was me. I had to study a lot. Like, I studied a lot. There was not much partying going on because I was studying.
Right.
I got to pass my class, you know. But we did it, you know,
Right.
and we see there's lots of people hurting, man. Tons of people hurting, and it don't have to be that way.
Right.
You know, I know people. Guy reached out to me earlier, uh, just today, this afternoon. He's just not in a good spot, you know, but he can be. I'm like,
Mm.
dude, just turn this over. Like we've got one life. Life is too short and too long not to get this thing figured out.
Is he a chiropractor or a patient?
Chiropractor. Yeah.
Like I think about it all the time because I just love to think and talk to myself. I could have been something else. I could have been a plumber, an electrician, which are all great professions, but to wake up
Mhm.
every day and be able to put your hands on someone and connect them to their source and reignite them and their whole life transforms.
Mhm.
Now people are coming in and they're closing out for Christmas break and they're just coming in. I mean, they're baking goods, they're bringing gifts, they're sharing stories about, this place has changed my life. We
Mhm.
love and appreciate you guys so much, and to stand there and listen to that is really humbling.
Yeah.
Humbling.
Yeah. I mean, and I swear, there's not a day that goes by that um, me and Claudia, that we both don't cry about something.
Yeah.
Right. And most of the time it's happy stuff,
Right.
like carried up today. Little baby coming in, brand new baby. Think she's 3 weeks old. Met her up at my undergrad school. Met the mom, and she brought the baby in.
Yeah.
And baby just not saying anything. Look at the baby, adjust the baby, and then all of a sudden the biggest smile ever, and she like cackles. It's
Ah,
like, oh my gosh, like that stuff just tears me up. I'm like, oh, like we connected like right then.
and
It's
and one of the intentions of us creating these discussions now, and I think we'll bring other people on and just jam, is people need to hear these stories. They need to see these things. They need to see
yeah,
videos and things going out there. Because I mean, I don't know how many times I've had the conversation when people say to me, "Why would you adjust a baby?" And they see
yeah,
videos of TikTok and they think I'm cranking on their neck. I'm like, dude, the kid could be
nah,
asleep and I adjust them. They don't even wake up. It's so gentle.
no,
And you take
mm-mm,
a child who's got ear infections, colic, or whatever, and it goes away, or they're just born subluxated and don't even have a symptom yet. And you just get them clear, and now they're
hmm
living day one clear. Like that's
yeah,
what a principle for a family to learn and live by.
yeah, and it's huge. And this little baby, she just stretched out and just limbered out and just it just like that 4 weeks of tension just gone like that. You
Uh,
know, it's just like, and I know, like, even if she never gets adjusted again, like her life started out right.
yeah, amen to that.
Like we can't see them all the time, but I know she's going to bed tonight clear.
So awesome.
It's so good. So good.
But
So
what do you
we
think as a profession, what do you think we can do differently to get that message out there?
we got to stand up. We I know a lot of times, like we're around each other. We're around other successful people, so we don't really see what's going on a lot of the times. But we got to stand up and take a stand for principled chiropractic. You
Right,
know, and I know DE is the last place you'll find principled chiropractic.
right,
It's just not anywhere else.
right.
And they may be little fashions here and there, but and we love those guys. There's no competition in that or anything, but it's just like so hardcore. Like DE is the biggest and the hardest and the oldest principal chiropractic organization there is. 1964, man.
Yeah,
60 years.
wow. And we just had what a celebration we had for 60 years. And it was
Oh
really
man.
cool because within that same month, um, Life University, which was Life College, that Dr. Sid, both of our biggest mentors, um, his legacy was celebrated within the same month of discovering Life
Oh
College
man.
and then going on and discovering, well, vice versa. He discovered DE and started that movement, which then
Mm.
discovered and built Life College. How
Yeah.
cool is that? What a legacy that is.
I know, and Life University done such a good job of honoring him, honoring Dr. Umber.
Awesome.
I mean, Dr. Umber, man, he is. I talked to him today at lunch, and
Yeah.
he's just man, and he's not a spring chicken. That's what he'll say in his words. But man, he is on fire for chiropractic and for life.
You know, that interview we did with him, which was what, about 4 hours,
Oh man,
broken over
yeah,
2 sessions. You know, we're going to start launching that out to people. We did a clip at the last DE that people just absolutely loved, but the wisdom of what he's lived through, but to hear what Dr. Sid's intention and vision was to start
yeah,
Dynamic Essentials
yeah,
and why he was doing that. And it's, 60 years ago, they were having these same discussions back then was, these chiropractors, like you said, they feel lost, they're
yeah.
not connected, they don't have friends. To create like-minded people that are getting together and training together to be better chiropractors and pure chiropractors.
Got you now. Is
Attaboy.
this thing on?
With the headphones on, man.
Is this thing on? It's hard
It's
to hear,
on.
man.
The microphone on.
DD, we need some power. Need some power. DD. The no man, I get tired of wearing my hearing aids, so I gotta do something. Listen, if you can't hear, get you a set of hearing aids. I don't matter who's watching this, it'll change your life.
Hey, maybe the hearing aid company can sponsor
It should.
our show.
That's the truth. That's
And
the
then we can
truth.
talk about Harvey Lillard and how chiropractic was discovered. That's not
That's
irony.
all.
That's the best.
It is.
Well, I think, people get out and practice and they bury their head in the sand because they're just trying to, get practice going, survive, make a living. They get married, they got kids coming into the picture, and it gets
Yeah.
challenging. And I mean, I've said it myself when I first early on, I'm never getting involved in politics. I've said that numerous times, and now I'm knee deep in it. And there's days I wish I wasn't.
No, it would be easy not to be.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, today at lunch, I was texting, emailing people all day at lunch for some political nonsense going on. And it's just like, gosh, like, but there's nobody else doing it. That's the thing. We need to like recruit people that want to make a positive change too.
And I don't think they're not doing it purposefully.
No, no,
But I
not at
think,
all.
like you said, it's like when something rears its head, people start getting loud and they pull together, and there's a lot of smart minds around it. But then when we get comfortable, they get quiet and go back into their cave.
Yeah.
And that's when the people that are not busy chiropractors working, they come out of the woodwork and start working together. And you wake up and they're trying to pass this different legislation, different
Mhm.
laws. They're joining associations, quietly taking over things, and then their BS mindset starts, taking over. And then we wake up and it's like that, dude, that's got nothing to do with chiropractic and the future of chiropractic, other than
Mm.
weakening it, right? And making us more like physical therapy in another profession, which, BJ and back in the day, they were fighting that, you know, 70 years ago.
It won't ever change, I don't think, bro. It won't ever change. Like,
People will just get busy with practice in their life.
mhm.
You start waking up and you're hearing whispers of things happening, which is happening all over again. There's a lot going on that we probably can't talk about fully, or maybe we could talk about some of it, but things that people try to just pull off some BS stuff, man, that gets the profession nowhere other
Yeah,
than weak.
yeah. And I really think somehow if you follow some money back, it's either money or power what people are looking for.
And there's no power in this.
No. No, not when you turn it over and decide to be a humble servant. When
There's
you're
no,
a servant, that's it.
Dr. Sid, when he was the president and took over the ICA, I was told they had over 10,000 members.
How many do we have now?
Now, perspective, nowhere near that. Not even close, bro. Much
No.
less than half. And as a profession, we should be sickened over that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we need to start spreading the word. People get involved.
Yeah. And the ICA was BJ's organization, started in what, like 1918 or something like that. Um,
Well, that's enough reason in and of itself to join, because
Yeah.
of that, to support what his vision was, but then to stick around long enough to get involved in the conversations and leadership. Because if you're not a member, you really have no voice at the table,
Mm-mm.
right?
Mm-mm.
But to get involved and be able to have an agenda and how can we, for me, it all comes down to how can we promote and push chiropractic to the next level that's never happened before?
Yeah.
How can we get the public educated on a regular basis in a congruent manner, simplistically, plus getting kids coming out of school and following leadership that's congruent and that's chiropractic, which gives it more power, and then
Mm-hmm.
having legislation arms that are lobbying and working on the Hill to protect the future of patients' rights for their children getting adjusted, babies getting adjusted, et cetera.
Yeah. And I think that's the crux of everything. Like, how do we do this? Like, what are the steps? But I know some steps are not what's been going on.
No,
You know, having a freaking sticker on a mattress, what does that do?
especially when it's got
Nothing.
a blanket hiding it.
Yeah. Like, uh, what's that gonna do? Nothing. Nobody's like, oh, did you see on my Sealy mattress? It says ICA.
Right.
Like, and then, I mean, do we want people to ask us what mattress to get? I don't. I just tell them to get a comfortable one or one that's got a good return policy.
Well, I think the truth of the matter from a business standpoint, it's to bring money in, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because I mean, what a beautiful thing that if our membership, if people listening to this could actually put their money where their mouth is and join, that we didn't have to rely on that,
Yeah.
to pay the bills.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why outside things, the sponsors have had to come to fruition to help run the business. I mean, that's the basic truth of it all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when you go to these conferences and they're chiropractic conferences and
Mm-hmm.
they're in beautiful hotels and you walk through the lobby and there's 30 tables set up with nothing to do with chiropractic,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they're selling,
Nope.
they're selling to chiropractors things to do in their office to make money. And the person putting on the seminar has them in the hallway to help pay for the hotel because it's all the glitz and glamour. It's like it's weakening the principles of what chiropractic was founded on, period.
Yep. And it confuses the attendee to these conferences. I know at DE we have a application. You know this, like you're on the board with me. Like
Yeah.
if you don't meet these criteria, you can't be a vendor. It don't matter how much money you have. It don't matter. Like we only want solid chiropractic booths and vendors at DE, and that's all only thing we have. And we'll have some
Yeah.
business booths, people that doing credit card processing, but we need that to run a business.
Right.
That's neither principled or unprincipled. That's just you just need credit card processor, you know.
Yeah.
But everything else is chiropractic with TIC all capital.
100%. I had a lady ask me that today. What does the capital TIC mean? She saw one of my Facebook posts and she saw I did that. How do you answer that question? Why we do that? It's kind of like why the word principled chiropractor and then or we say chiropractic.
Mm-hmm.
How do you answer that?
Well, I mean, it just puts the emphasis on what chiropractic is and what it's not. Like, there's not, I think, just like with God, like you got little g God and then you got big G God. I'm big G God man. I'm a capital TIC chiropractic man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ah,
It just puts the emphasis, like, to me, only chiropractic.
right. It's enough.
Hmm. And that's the only thing I know. And I'm still trying to learn it every day. Like this weekend was putting on GCC convention. I had to teach Georgia law a couple of times, but I mean, I was in the room taking notes on pediatrics, taking notes on geriatrics, um, taking care of pregnant mamas, and still trying to learn. Like we still haven't got it all figured out, man. There's always more to learn,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Especially in something like the science of chiropractic. It's just the
Hmm.
more you learn, the simpler it gets.
Yeah, yeah. It's simple, but it's not simplistic. You know,
That's a
it's really deep.
that's a good one. It's
Yeah,
simple,
yeah.
but it's not simplistic.
Hmm.
Explain that to me.
Well, I mean, we know hard bone, soft nerve. Oh, yeah, that make man sick. Man sick, no good. Um, but then, we check somebody. We know the neurology going on when we check somebody. We're doing leg checks. We're doing a challenge. We're looking at films. We're
Yeah.
doing this, and then all that goes together to visualizing where that bone's misaligned, and then we give a dynamic thrust, and boom, that's it. Lay there. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Don't move. And then come back, and they're just like sobbing and crying because their life has changed.
Yeah. They wake up.
Yep. Yep. I don't know if I can find this real quick. I might can. I have it saved. One of the best uh one of the best things a patient ever sent me. Oh yeah, here it is. All right, I've read this before. And this was a Marine. He was retired. He was in or not retired, he was like medical leave, honorable discharge due to medical stuff. PTSD, just he was ready to kill himself. He was done. Like his wife texted me, never seen him before. Said, "Hey, can y'all meet us someday? Can you meet us?" Like this is probably 10 years ago, maybe at closing or before you open, because he just can't be around many people and all that. And I'm like, yeah, like, whatever you need, like just tell us. So I met him one night late and adjusted him, toggled him, just like lay there a minute. Me and the wife went, just kind of stepped away, and we were just talking about how he's doing and stuff. But then got him up, sent him home. She's little, he's big dude, like hardcore Marine, just badass dude. She helps him to the car, and the mental dispersion he was having was making him physically sick. Like he was ready to hurt himself. But then 2 days later, he sent me this. He said, I got it screenshotted. Dr. Drew, I don't like the phrase "a cry for help." I just don't like how it sounds. When I say I'm thinking about suicide, I have a plan. I just need a reason not to do it. The last thing I feel is helplessness. I think depression has been beating me up for years. It's called me ugly and stupid and pathetic and a failure for so long that I've forgotten that it's wrong. I don't see good in myself and I don't have any hope. But still, here I am. I'm getting chills reading this. But still, here I am. I've come over to you, banged on your door, and said, "Hey, staying alive is really hard right now. Just give me something to fight with. I don't care if it's a stick. Give me a stick and I can stay alive." How is that helpless? I think that's incredible. Now I'm a Marine. It's like I'm trapped behind enemy line. My gun has been taken away. I'm out of ammo. I'm malnourished, and I probably caught some kind of jungle virus that's making me hallucinate giant spiders. And I'm out here going, just give me a stick. I'm not dying out here. A cry for help makes it sound like you're supposed to take pity on me. But I don't need your pity. This is not pathetic. This is a will to survive. This is how humans have lived long enough to become the dominant species. With no hope, running on nothing, I'm ready to cut through 100 miles of hostile jungle with nothing but a stick, if that's what it takes to get to safety. All you're doing is handing out sticks. Thank you for my life. And then that was it. But like that's that's what the country, that's what the world needs. They need that clear brain stem. And that's it, you know?
Yep. Wow, bro. That gave
Yeah,
me good.
I know, right? Like, ah, and he's doing good now. He's doing like he's moved away like a couple hours away, but he's doing like carbon fiber install stuff, not carbon fiber, fiber optic, communication stuff. Like, he's good now. He's awesome.
But his
So
body was able to restore life.
yeah, yeah, had pressure up here. What do you expect?
I mean, I mean, that's the story. That's the
Yeah.
principle right
Yep.
there.
Yep.
That's And if people could release their egos, these doctors and people that want to talk shit about chiropractic or demean it, and we're quacks and that's not science, not this. How do you refute that science? That story you just told. The man sends you the story thanking you. I mean, what an awesome way to put it into words, too. I like that. You're handing out sticks.
I know, right? I'm just like,
Like
dude.
like we need one more chiropractors doing this work.
Yep.
You go in and start adding stuff to him after the adjustment, or you don't adjust him and you add stuff to him, he's a potential dead man.
Yep. And he would have been. He was ready.
Yeah.
Well, he was going to kill himself.
And you cleared out his brainstem via the
Yep.
app, and you're waking up to that message.
He didn't need freaking CoQ10.
No,
He didn't
no,
need zinc.
no,
He
no.
needed that cleared.
You needed that Atlas toggled, which is a beautiful adjustment.
Yep. Yeah. It just, I don't know, man. That's what we got to have. And we talk about MDs like giving us crap and shit, but like there's other chiropractors doing that too. Like,
Yeah,
guys, y'all
I've
got the
gotten the
power.
most shit from most chiropractors, not medical doctors. I got medical doctors sending me their people, psychiatrists sending people that are like, let's give it a try. And then
Yeah.
some chiropractor is like, well, that's not possible. You can't do that. I don't believe it. It's weak. Then just shut
Yeah.
your mouth and get out of the way and let us do the work. But we need more freaking chiropractors doing the work and getting vocal about it.
Yep. And if you're worried that much, like you must not be busy enough selling tablets and crap to pay attention to what I'm doing.
Right.
But only reason I care about um, standing up for what's right is so that the generations behind us have a profession to come to.
Real good leadership would recognize what's happening in the profession right now, would take the chiropractors that are in the trenches, actually seeing the masses and doing the work, put them
Hmm.
into the leadership positions and say, take that same passion and vision to the organization, AKA the ICA, and let's
Yep.
take this thing to the mountaintop. And we'll help you do it, but we're going to put
Yep.
you guys out there to do the work because we want to do the work and stop judging and just get the hell out of the way and let it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Just let us do our thing. I didn't want to get involved in politics. Um, Dr. Sid always said needed to. I worked at Georgia Governor's Mansion forever under Zell Miller. Always around that stuff. Um, I got a practice I want to build. I want to keep growing that. Uh,
Yeah.
but Dr. Sid, like you got to do this. You need to get involved. And then like you and Lieberman and some of these other guys around me, like, hey, you need to do this. You need to do this. Been with GCC forever, um, ICA forever. I guess since I could join, I don't know. Um, Vice President of GCC now, and it's just it. There's a lot of work to do, and we don't have many hands to do it.
Yeah.
And you were talking about um, some of this leadership being like, hey guys, y'all are on fire, y'all go do this, and that same leadership. It don't matter if it's a state organization, a precinct, national, international organization, whoever. If numbers have dipped and stuff is sucking under their leadership, a real leader will say, you know, um, I need some help with this. I'm going to step back. I'm going to step down from this because it's got worse under my tenure. And I'm just going to let somebody else have a shot at this before it just all vanishes.
Right. Right.
That's what a real leader does. That's what real leadership is saying, I need some help. I'm going to step down and put these younger guys in there.
Right. Well, why
And
not? Then
yeah,
just
and
work.
now for the record, I mean younger guys. I'm not including myself because I've got my hands full with the GCC and DE and my office, dude. I'm just meaning in general.
Yeah. Well, if we asked you to, we know you would.
Yeah, please don't.
Well, you got Lieberman that represents Georgia really solid.
Oh man, solid,
He's,
solid
he-
man.
he's a smart dude. I've sat on calls with him in boardrooms and heard him talk. I mean, you don't get much stronger than that, man. He's so strong that weak people despise him.
Yeah,
You know, like they don't want him at that table because he's so strong and principled and speaks up.
yep.
That's instead of recognize that, embracing it, they want to push him away, people sometimes, and it's just not, to me, it's just not, doesn't make any sense at all.
No, because they're afraid of getting exposed.
Mm.
Because Lieberman, he doesn't care. Like he and I, we've had some great debates, and he'd be like, "Listen, like this is how I see it." Um, he may be right, he may be wrong about some stuff we was talking about. We was talking about Larry Bird earlier today. Um, he was like, "I don't know if he's better than Michael Jordan," and I'm like, "Well, I think he is." But he's wrong. That boy is wrong on that. Larry Bird's the greatest.
You're Larry Diehard.
Oh yeah, Larry Legend all day long. But he will stand for what he knows is right, and I would not want any other warrior in chiropractic in Georgia beside me than Brian Lieberman.
Amen. And that's what everybody's saying. And,
Yeah,
and what's great about Brian too is I've seen him, if something came out and then he was proven wrong, he's the first one to apologize and say, "Yep, take it on the chin and move forward." And that's one of the
yep,
big things I respect about him, is that he's able to be honest and humble and say, "Okay, and then let's work together on this." And that's, to me, that's a sign of leadership. That's what we need more of. We need more people
yep,
working together instead of griping and working against each other and talking behind people's backs. Let's work together and say, at the end of the year, let's see what kind of results we got. And if we could
yeah,
look on paper and we grew, then we got results. If we shrunk, we didn't get results, and something has to change. If I got a patient
yep,
coming to me and their body's not healing, not getting better, I go in and re-X-ray them, I reanalyze them, I
hmm
check myself to say,
hmm
okay, am I doing this wrong? Do I got to figure something else out? And that happens, and you got to humble yourself and say, it wasn't Atlas, it's C2.
yep,
And just
yeah,
by going down a little lower, it changes their life.
and when we do that, it's big leadership and it's small ego.
Big leadership and it's small ego. That's that. Yeah, I like that.
But now when it's flip flop, that's dangerous, bro. If you got little leadership and big ego, that's recipe for disaster. That's going to be 10,000 members go down to a few thousand.
That kind of
You
says,
know,
yeah,
no ego, man. Edging God out.
yeah.
And we'll do that in the office. Like seeing a older woman other day, and she just wasn't responding the way that I knew she could. Um, had Dr. Claudia start checking her. You know, she started responding. Same thing with the baby. She's like, "Hey, listen, this baby," and we're not treating symptoms, but the baby just still got some reflux and just not being clear. She's like, "Will you make sure you check that baby next time?" Because I let her have a lot of the babies because she loves the babies. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, yeah, yeah, I'll grab them. I'll grab them." And that's just been this week so far. But we're praying for quick results. But like we just need as many hands and many eyes on something to get that correction the best we can.
Yeah. And that's awesome. I really think the future of the profession too is three or four doctors working together in an office,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing a ton of people. And then when you need to kind of break away and heal up yourself, like the doctors got to take care of themselves, that office doesn't have to shut down. It's got the proper coverage, relationships with the patients, like-minded people that are utilizing the
Mm-hmm.
same techniques in the flow of the office. And that office is just 52 weeks out of the year is serving people and changing their lives.
Yep.
One of the biggest things from my ego was the amount of people I was seeing by myself. And then I woke up one day as my kids were getting older, and it wasn't sustainable. It was
Mm-mm.
sustainable if I wanted to let my family get weak, but I
Yep.
wasn't willing to do that. And when I started bringing in docs to work with me, it was a big learning curve for me to like remove my ego from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know since Dr. Claudia came, it was like first day. We met at DE. And I'm like, hey, yeah, you're in Cumming, Georgia. That's not far from me. She's like, yeah, I'm not. I'm just down the road. If you ever need any help or, coverage work or, you want to go vacation or something, just let me know. I'll come up there. And I'm like, well, I've been thinking about it. Like, why don't you come up and let's just kind of see how it plays out. So she came up, I think it was on a Wednesday, a week or two later, and just fit right in like that with these country people up here. And it's just like girl from New Jersey, just like,
Yeah, she's a
man,
Jersey girl.
yeah. And they love her.
She's
I'm like,
a special
man, it's
human being.
Christmas. Yeah, she getting all the bread. I ain't getting any goodies. Like they don't bring me this candy. I'm like, well, crap. But it's good though. That's what, and it was just from day one. That was it.
That's awesome.
And yeah, and people like they've been asking us all week. Like, I guess you're going to be closed for a week or two for Christmas and New Year's. I'm like, no, like we're going to be closed Tuesday, Wednesday. Um, Everybody's grown. Everybody's doing their thing. Like, dude, I want to work. I want to see people. I don't want to watch anything on Netflix. You know,
Wow.
I'm good. So
You're not
we
playing in the
working
snow.
Monday, Thursday. Yeah, we working Monday, Thursday, Christmas week and New Year's week.
Amen.
Like, uh,
Serving never stops, bro.
no, man. But that don't mean if we take a trip that's bad. It's just this year we're not. Like we're just it's just time to work, man. Now next year, shoot, I may be gone for 3 weeks. Who knows? Yeah,
That's right. Could be on a honeymoon for all we know.
I don't know. You never know. It's
You never know what
I,
Drew's up to.
man. As soon as you think you know the answer, I'm going to change the question on you. You know what I mean? But I do have this. It's one of my favorite mugs. You can probably see that. A wolf on there. I
Amen.
think I'm like a one man wolf pack up here in Merville. But now, we got a good circle of brothers and sisters that hold each other accountable, each other, um, raise up each other, and I'm thankful for that. So,
I think that's what it comes down to when I think about DE, right? Is, when I first came to Connecticut, I was on an island by myself. And it was like being a lone wolf. And then I would go to DE and I was just connected, all the relationships and the speakers and the love, and went back, refueled, served my butt off 3, 4 months, started like power started going low, like man on an island by himself, go back to DE. And that's to me what DE was always about. It's, there's people spread all over the country and the world that are flying into DE the second week of January, right?
yep, yep. What is that? The ninth through the ninth, can't live it. 12th, not the ninth through the 12th.
And they realize you're not a lone wolf. You're not on your own. Like we've
Right.
got each other. And then today's technology, like things like this, what we're doing, the DE Tuesday night call,
Yep.
state associations, you look at like what you guys are doing with the GCC. And I just saw pictures. You just have like a party, a Christmas party or?
Yeah, we had our big holiday Christmas party convention. I mean, it was great. Chiropractor of the Year awards, scholarship awards. It's
Awesome.
yeah, it's great. Nick Sclapani, that won the scholarship award.
Oh
Great
yeah.
kid, man. Yeah,
He's
great
awesome.
kid.
His father's phenomenal. I love that guy.
Oh yeah, man. And there's like three or four brothers of them that's either graduated, just graduated, in school. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a clan of them, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
love
like,
that dad. Len is one of my favorite people.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
good.
He's so fired up, man.
Yeah, but when we're a lone wolf and we can handle it, but we have a pack to go back to and a pack that's got our back when we need it. And hence
Yep.
that's where the whole band of brothers thing came from. And it's beautiful and it's great that, I don't know. We've just been very fortunate, man. And
I know.
we just got to keep building the tribe. We need more people reaching out and jumping on board and just let's get clear. Let's get a
Mhm.
vision. And I see 2025 as like a massive year for us
Yeah.
because You've seen
Yeah.
DE grow like massive. We're just coming off one of the largest meetings. The
Oh man.
past 2 or 3 meetings have been huge.
Yeah. I mean, it was 550, 600 people, 620, something. I mean, it was big, DE's back, baby. I mean, it never left.
Well, the
Never
beauty
left.
too is it's not a CEU that's drawing people.
Mm-mm.
You know, that
No.
they're coming for the principle. They're coming for love. They're coming to grow. They're coming to shed husks. They're coming to get a loving kick in the ass to grow and to
Yeah.
transform their heart, to go from their
Mhm.
head to their heart and transform their lives so they could transform thousands of others people's lives. And we talk about changing the world. Like, let's change the world. Let's do it.
Yep. And we can't change the world unless we change ourselves first. We
100%.
we got to be right. We got to get ourselves right. We got to get our crap in order, and then we can go out and like start changing.
Yeah.
It, shit, man. Then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like
Well,
I
let's
know.
wrap this up, bro. Or if you want to keep going, keep going. What
Oh
do you
no,
got?
no, you're good. I just know that when we do that, that the world won't be the same. It just won't be the
Yeah.
same. It'll change. And we can be the
So what I'm going
vehicle.
to ask people out there, people hearing this, and Drew's talking about us being the vehicle, let's grow us. Let's start taking action to speak this stuff into existence and get it out there to the patients, to the humans, to educate them on the principle, on the capital
Mhm.
TIC. That was my one intention behind writing the book Wake Up Humans was, you get tired of just telling the chiropractors the story. The people need to hear this story. They need
Mhm.
to hear this truth. So if you're a person out there that is fired up, has a voice, wants to be heard, reach out to us. We'll throw you on here. We'll just have a
Mhm.
conversation, grab a cup of coffee, and let's just
Mhm.
talk and see what Innate
Yep.
provides. Because it's the more conversations, the more it gets out to people, we have a chance to right the ship once and
Yep.
for all for this profession, chiropractic.
Mhm. Yeah, and we can do that. We've got, I don't know, dozens of people in the wheelhouse. If you want to get back in the wheelhouse with us, come on. If you just want to ride the waves like a ship without a sail, stay there. But you can get in the wheelhouse with us.
Become a lighthouse, baby.
That's it.
Become a
That's it.
lighthouse.